Board of Adjustments is a 9-member board. We're appointed by the City Council and we serve on a voluntary basis without compensation. Our procedure for conducting business is I'll call the petitioner's name. If you would please come to the mic, speak clearly into the mic, and then anyone, and make your presentation, and anyone who would like to address any particular item will be given an opportunity to do so. Once we receive public testimony on a particular item, members of the board will deliberate and we will render our decision. I'll remind any member with a personal or financial interest in any particular item you're required to recuse yourself from voting. Any testimony that's submitted by the petitioner or on behalf of the petitioner during the presentation of the agenda item is binding as to any decision the board makes relative to the motion. If a motion to deny an item is made, a reason must be given. This time I'll introduce the members of the board that are here tonight, right now. Mr. Nathan Williams, Ms. Jennifer Shaw, Mr. Bart Prince, Mr. Pickett Reese, Mr. George Howell Jr. I'm John Stanley, your chairman. Our planning and control staff that are here tonight, Mr. Tommy Tyson, Mr. James Center, Ms. Tanya Ingram, our wonderful recording secretary. Any questions? We have 6 members here tonight. It requires 5 votes to approve a motion. So if you feel like that may affect your presentation and any approval of your presentation, you can delay your request tonight and present it at the next meeting, which will be January the 19th, 2017. If you care to do that, please see Ms. Ingram. Otherwise, we will move forward with item number 1, presented by Foshee Design and Construction, representing Dexter Place, requesting an exception to Smart Code for new signage to be located at 36 Dexter Avenue in a T5 zoning district. This was presented last time. It was delayed for various reasons. It's my understanding, Mr. Tyson, that a revision of Smart Code signage standards are underway.
Yes, sir.
And if those standards that are being presented are approved, then what we are about to hear tonight would comply.
That's correct.
So if you would just go over this quickly, review quickly, and then we'll deal with it, but probably subject to the approval of the Smart Code. Is that okay, Mr. Tyson?
I don't think you can put a contingency on it, Mr. Stanley. I think you need to vote it up or down.
Are you confident?
We don't expect any problems with the revision to the
You're
sign.
confident it'll be?
Yes, sir.
Okay, because I had spoken to a couple of people within your staff that they felt comfortable.
Yes, sir.
That what you're requesting is going to comply. All right? Give your name and address again.
Name is John Foshee, representing Foshee Design and Construction, and you have the signs before you. And I just presented a clean packet just so that you would have the signs we're presenting.
All right. We had last time, I guess, this same drawing presented.
Yes, sir.
Board members, if y'all will look, you've got awning signage there. At the last meeting, that didn't seem to be an issue. What was the issue was the blade signs. And the petitioner is requesting 2 separate blade sign sections, with each blade sign having double-sided, double-sided, and 4 signs per section.
Yes, sir. That's correct.
John, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So that's what we had some concern about last time, but Mr. Tyson says that what's being presented tonight is supposed to be approved and accepted by the City Council. Is that correct, Mr. Tyson?
We'll go to the Planning Commission first and then to the City Council.
Okay. Even the sizes of the blade signs, all of that's going to be compliant?
Yes, sir.
And I think the reason for this is that we expect more of this kind of request in the future with other buildings that are coming. And I suppose Planning Commission and the Planning Department has decided this is something we need to do.
We need to get ahead of it, yes, sir. The Crest Building's under construction right now, and it'll be the similar situation.
Okay. Everyone take a moment, look at it. If you have any questions, please ask the petitioner. John, are these signs backlighted or are they ground lit? Exterior lit?
They're exterior lit from, as part of that signage, there's lights on there.
You got light shining onto the blade sign, correct?
Yes, sir. That's correct.
Individually blade sign, or just the whole structure?
There's 3 sets of lights. There's one at the bottom of the blade sign, one at the top, and one at midspan, and they will shine on the signs.
Okay. White?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Question.
Okay. Mr. Howell?
The drawing shows some blade signs in the alley, but those are compliant, so they're not part of this request at all. Is that right?
That's right.
Yes,
Okay.
sir.
All right. There are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. Thank you.
And there are, what, 4 awnings, is that correct?
There are 4 small awnings and one awning number 5 is,
Awning number 5, where's
Awning-
that?
so if you turn to page 2 of your packet, awning signage number 5 has been previously approved, so awning number 6 is the one you're looking at tonight as well. The 1, 2, 3, 4, and 6.
We're approving awnings 1, 2, 3, and 4,
And 6, yes, sir.
and 6.
Number 5 was brought to y'all previously on a restaurant.
Okay. All right. Any other questions?
What were the size of the blade signs last month? These are 3
Same.
by 5s?
The same size,
Same
yes, sir.
size?
Yeah. 3 to 5, right?
Yes, sir, that's correct.
Are the awning signage lit? They're lit with the light above the awning, correct?
That's correct.
Okay.
Is awning number 6 illuminated, John?
Not currently at this time.
It will be?
Yes, sir, it will be.
Same way?
Yes, sir, same way, from
Same-
above.
Same fixture?
Yes, sir.
How about signage number 5?
Same thing, those fixtures are already installed in there.
They're already in place.
Yes, sir.
Okay, any questions, board members? Anyone in the audience care to address this item? Bill? That's your partner? Yes, ma'am.
Hi, I'm Connie Colvin, and you have to have 2, you're going to have 2 signs in the front that says Foshi? I mean, it's like they can't remember that they went to this sign and they get to that one, is that it? I mean, I don't understand why you have to have 2 signs.
John, show her what you're going to do, please.
So we have, talking to the microphone.
Yeah.
We chose to group the signs into 2 larger structures instead of having 9 individual or 8 individual signs on the front. So we could put those beside each other, or we could group them together. We've gone the route of grouping them together.
No, I understand that. What I'm saying is you've got Foshi, you've got whatever right here, but you have to have another one? I don't get why you have to have 2. That's only, I don't understand.
I don't think
but-
she realizes it's multi-tenant.
Yeah, there's multiple commercial tenants within the space. It's not one.
Okay, it's for commercial, it's not just to say, this is the Foshi building, or this is the old Bill building.
This for individual tenant
I'm so
identification.
sorry, I didn't quite understand, I'm so sorry. Okay, I'm okay.
Good question, though. Any other questions? I'll entertain a motion.
I move that we grant Mr. Foshi's request for the exception to the smart code for the new signage.
Second.
Have a motion from Mr. Reese and a second, Mr. Howell. Any further discussion? All in favor, raise your hand. It's unanimous.
Great. Thank you all very much.
Thanks, John. Item 2 is presented by Daniel Toddy. Yes.
Isn't involved in it anymore. I'm representing.
Okay, all right. You can come up and identify yourself. You're representing Mary Traylor. Are you Miss Traylor?
Yes, I am.
Requesting a special exception for livestock to be located at 4545 McInnes Road in an R85 and R125 zoning district. Ms. Traylor,
Yes, sir.
tell us what you want to do.
Well, I've been trying to get something done out there with the property. There were horses there. There was a person that owned the property several years ago that got permission to put horses out there. And I got the property. I was the original owner, and he no longer owns the property. So I'm the owner back again, and I want to put cows out on the property. I have someone that's going to do it with me, and he's going to put all the fencing and so forth. It is not Mr. Toddy. Mr. Toddy originally was going to do it, and then he didn't show up for the meeting last time. He never called me back. He never called Mr. Thornton back or anything, so I just dropped him out of the picture, but I have someone else that's going to do the cows.
Can you give us a maximum number of cows that will be on this property? Because we're dealing with what, about 14 acres, I believe?
But it's 15, it's 14 point, it's almost 15.
Okay, yes, I say on approximately 14, 15 acres. Give us a maximum number.
Well, I believe that the person that, and myself will probably start out with probably about maybe 8 cows.
Cows, all cows, no bulls?
Probably half and half.
Half and half. So,
I think he mostly wants to do the bull. He mostly wants to do the bulls because I think that's more in line with.
well, let's just talk about total head. How many, what's your
Well, we haven't
maximum
purchased.
commitment on total head?
We haven't purchased them yet because I had to get permission, to make sure that it's
Right,
okay.
but I want the board to have an idea. I mean, we do this often. We kind of get a head count, okay? And so what I don't want to see is all of a sudden you got 40
No,
head
sir.
of cows
No,
on
no,
14 acres
no,
of land.
No, sir. Just whatever, I don't know whether there's a percentage of land for each cow or, whatever, but
Depends on how
I've already
much
got the hay.
grass that 14 acres will grow, but
I would say around about 8 maybe.
are you okay with 8?
Right now, yes, sir.
What if we put a limit of 10?
10.
Is that okay?
Yes, sir.
Let me just kind of give you a number, give you a little flexibility here, okay? But in fairness to your neighbors, we need to put a maximum on it.
Yes, sir. Well, my neighbor that's next door is the one that's very excited about it, real happy about it. That's Mr. Kelvin Thornton.
Sure. Well, okay, that's my idea. Any question, board members?
Yes, I have.
Yes, ma'am.
Well, don't you think perhaps it would help us if we knew how many cows were allowed per acre? And
That's
I'm
an
sure that
arbitrary number. I mean, cows, that depends on what kind of grass and food and all that they have.
It's a 5-step calculation, and depends on what your grass is
Yeah.
and how much you're going to supplement during the winter season. It's just 10 is an arbitrary figure, but I think it's reasonable. If you get into feeding them, if they eat all the grass up, then you're not going to make any money.
I also have a whole lot of grandchildren that are here in Montgomery, and it's going to be an experience for them to be able to go out on the little farm that their daddy and their family, had 40 years ago. So the farm will stay in my family.
Used to be a pond out there that you could fish in, didn't it, Ms. Traylor?
I'm sorry.
Wasn't there
He's talking, Mr. Tyson.
Didn't you have a pay fee for people that come and fish in your pond?
Well, people are coming in fishing all the time, you know, I've put signs up, they've torn down hundreds of signs, they've torn my fence down, they come in there and fish all the time, that's why the city got involved in it, and I've had to go before the city board and do a whole lot of work out there, believe me, I've had crews out there, and it's been really an ordeal, but I'm getting the fencing done for the cows, so.
Well, you definitely want to
I
keep
mean,
the
I've gotta
cows
get- I
out of
have to
McKinnis
get-
Road, okay?
Yes, sir. I mean, there's one part
Yes.
that's off right there at coming in the gate, and then I have to get the other around the house, because I just remodeled the house, you know. I just spent a tremendous amount of money on restoring the house, and
Okay.
so I want to protect the house.
Any other questions, board members?
I want to ask one question, Mr.
Yes.
Ms. Traylor, do you plan to have a barn or a corral?
There is a barn there that I'm going to have to refurbish. It's an original, it's over 100 years old structure there, and I'm going to redo that. Mr. Thornton's going to help me redo that and put, you know, there's already hay in it. There's hay in that structure right now, but, you know, I'll be bringing bales in, and I also have, already have contracted the bush hogging, you know, to cut the hay to bale up the hay. You know, I've already made preparations.
Mr. Williams, you got a question?
There'll be bales of hay and feed, and of course feed, you know, feed. And I have a little corral that I'm gonna have to fix, you know.
Okay.
How's the density? Is it farmland, city, or what? Because I think if it's, how many neighbors do you have around that area that may have something to say about that? But again, how is the land designated part to the city? City land or farmland?
Well, it used to be, you know, when the Bashes had the property, like, way back, it was original, the Bash farm, way back, probably before both of us, I don't know how long ago, but it was a farm then, you know, probably more acreage, and through the years, it's been used for, you know, just multifamily, at one time, I think, and then it's been sold too, and, people didn't pay for it, and I had to foreclose and that sort of thing.
It's in the city limits, of course, and it's zoned residential, and that's why she's here.
Yeah. So, but you won't exceed that number. I know you said something about 10. At any time, other than that.
There were more than 10 horses at one time out there.
Well,
But I
We're-
know this is different.
what-
This is cows.
we'll deal with that in a motion. I think I got her consensus that 10 was okay. Any other questions?
One other thing, Mr. Stanley, is there is a neighbor across the road, Ms. Traylor, that's concerned about the, what the runoff might be from the cattle, and you need to check with ADM. They have a voluntary program that give you some information as far as that goes, but
So you'll give me a name to call?
I've got it for you.
he's got it for you.
I've got it
Mr.
for
Chairman
you.
does.
I'll get it to you in a moment. Any other questions? And then I'll call to see if there's anyone in here in opposition that has any questions. Is anyone here that would care to address this item? Okay.
May I sit down?
Apparently that individual, obviously he's not here, and apparently he doesn't have any more questions, but at Mr. Tyson's request, and we'll give you the name of this person at ADM, because obviously you don't want to be in violation of any kind of environmental issues. Okay? Okay, thank you. Okay, anyone else have any questions? Mr. Williams?
No.
Mr. Pratt? Okay, if there are no further questions, I'll entertain a motion.
Motion to approve, limited to 10 head of cows at any time.
Cows to include bulls, calves, steers, et cetera, right?
Yeah.
And horses. In other words, no more than 10 head of horses, cows, bulls, steers, et cetera.
She's only asking for cows, but yes, we can include horses in it.
Yeah. Yeah. You understand that, Ms. Traylor?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
And eventually, I'm possibly might move back
All right.
there too.
Have a motion to approve limiting the number of head to 10. Mr. Williams seconds. Any further discussion? All in favor, raise your hand. Okay. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Good luck.
Thank you very much.
Take care of that fencing. Item number 3 is presented by Maurice Bass, requesting a street side yard variance and height variance for a privacy fence to be located at 3557 LeBron Road in a R100 single-family zoning district. Mr. Bass here? Okay. We'll roll that over to the next meeting, Tanya.
Okay.
Item 4 is presented by Horatio Lee, representing All Collaborating to Serve, requesting a front yard variance for a new dwelling to be located at 1606 Edgar D. Nixon Avenue in an R65FM zoning district. Mr. Lee?
Yes, sir. Good evening.
Good evening.
I'm here representing All Collaborating to Serve with nonprofit organization. We are revitalizing West Montgomery. This property is a property for a new home for a needy family, and the existing homes over there already have the next to them are about 20 feet off of the right of way, and that allows us to be able to put the home the way the other homes are in the area. So,
Okay.
it's basically asking for that variance on the setback.
Okay. Very good. Have any questions, board members? Anyone in the audience care to address this item? I'll entertain a motion.
Motion to approve.
Have a motion approved, Ms. Shaw. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second from Mr. Prince. Any further discussion? All in favor, raise your hand. It's unanimous.
Thank you.
Thank you. Appreciate everything you're doing. Item 5 is presented by James Barton, requesting a height variance for a new privacy fence to be located at 3039 Boxwood Drive in an R125 single-family zoning district. Thank you.
So my name is Lee Barton, and basically what I'm asking for is every time that we arrive home or leave, since our side door and our driveway butts up to our neighbor's driveway, one of the first things we see is that, other than our cars, would be this metal storage shed, which I realize, that's allowed. We don't have any covenants or anything in our neighborhood, McGee Estates, like that. Also, we have natural foliage that runs up and down the driveway, some of which we've planted, some of which the neighbors planted. But in that back section, there's about 35 feet for which there's no foliage to block that view. And so what I'm requesting is an 8-foot privacy fence on our property that would keep that from being seen from our side. The top or the drip line of that structure is roughly 8 feet tall. So it would not block the entire structure, but it would block the majority of the side of the structure. So basically what I want to do is bring the 8-foot fence from the back property line against the fence that's already there, up to the shrub line. which would be approximately halfway of the house, if you can understand what I'm saying. It's not going to come in front of the house. It's not going to come to the front yard.
It's reflected on our drawing here with a yellow line.
That's correct. Yes, sir.
Okay?
Where?
Okay?
I don't have that part. Okay.
Okay? That's explanatory. Any questions, board members? Mr. Brent?
Yes, sir.
Your main objective is just to, that's a SOI, and you're just covering, that fence would take care of that.
Yes, sir. Well, we believe it's a sore eye. I mean, if we wanted to go try to sell our house, we don't think that that would be something we'd want to see. So we don't really approve of it, but we know it's his property or their property, and they're allowed to do what they want to do on their property. However, we would like our property not to be able to see that. You know, I was of the opinion, as a general rule, when you put a storage shed in, you usually put it in your backyard, behind a fence, behind the house. But ultimately, that's his property, so he can put it where he wants to. I understand that. We have other neighbors that have those type structures, but typically they're in the backyard. To me, this is more like in the side yard.
Yeah. Okay. Any other questions?
Yes, I have a question.
Yep, Ms.
Sure.
Shaw?
Okay, in the picture that you gave to us, there seems to be a driveway or something, or a parking pad. Is that in your yard, or
Yes,
is that?
yes, ma'am. That is our driveway.
That's your driveway?
That is our driveway. So you're basically looking from our door as we walk out to get in our car, that's what you see.
Okay,
So if we have any company come and park in our driveway, that's what you would see. And when you drive up our driveway, that's what you see.
okay, but I'm also looking at this other the other picture that was in here, and it appears that the storage shed is quite a ways from your yes.
Covered up by the
Is this
label.
the storage shed here?
No, ma'am.
Oh,
Yes,
it's
but
not.
it is, come over this way. This is our driveway.
Uh-huh.
And this is our door that comes out. This is the parking pad that you're talking about, this big piece right here.
Right.
The storage shed is located right back here, about where this 8-foot is, in this
Okay.
section right here.
So that's
That is
not.
not the storage shed.
Okay, all right.
This is his driveway, or their driveway, the neighbor's driveway. So what I'm asking for is a fence to go from the back property line to the shrub line right there.
Okay. All right, I understand.
Yeah. Any other questions?
Oh, yeah, my other question, is there any particular reason that you want 8 feet as opposed to 7?
Yes. The main reason I would like 8 feet is so that we don't see the storage shed at all.
Okay, not even the top.
Well, you're still going to see the top because I don't know the exact pitch of the storage shed, but my estimation is that the center of the storage shed would be approximately 10 feet tall.
Okay,
And I think that would be unrealistic. I mean, 8 feet I know is more than, it was my understanding I could put a 6 or 7 foot fence without a variance, but to cover up the entire storage shed, we would like to put an 8-foot fence.
okay, all right.
Okay, good questions. Any other questions? Anyone in the audience care to address this item? Otherwise, yes, sir.
Good evening. I am the neighbor with the storage shed, and I just came to make sure that there wasn't anything I would object to going on. I support their effort to build a privacy fence as long as it's of substantial enough structure to support the wind sail that an 8-foot fence would provide. I have no objection.
Okay, thank you.
And
Any other questions? Anyone in the audience, anyone else care to address this item?
What's the neighbor's name?
Sir, could we have your name?
My name is John Fraser.
John Fraser.
You got it? Okay. Thank you, John. I'll entertain a motion.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Motion approved. Second from Ms. Shaw. Any further discussion? All in favor, raise your hand. Unanimous.
Thank you.
Thank you. Good job. That concludes our meeting. I have a motion to approve the minutes.
Motion to approve.
A motion to approve. Have a second?
Second.
Second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All in favor of adjourning this meeting, say aye.
Aye.
We are adjourned. Happy Merry Christmas to everybody.